All right, so let's find out what happens in the latest blunders of Ubisoft. It's not new that Ubisoft is obviously in very dire financial straits, and they're doing everything they can to recoup the tons of losses they have amassed throughout their latest games. Obviously, with Assassin's Creed Shadows, everybody knows what has happened with that game. But now they decided they're gonna go full-on gaslight mode and say that microtransactions, they somehow make games more fun. So let's watch this fun video and react to it.
Play with more fun in quotes. They argue it's because players can, and here we go with more quotes, quote unquote, progress more quickly if they pay for boosters. Now, I know we talked about...
They are going to say anything they can in order to make you accept this. I don't know if they think that consumers are dumb, or if at that point they don't care whether you know that they are gaslighting you, but I think Ubisoft is sinking, I believe that Ubisoft is a ship that is sinking, and I've read that Tencent is trying to acquire it, and I don't know if at this point I hope it's acquired by Tencent, because we know that if Tencent buys Ubisoft, their next game is going to be cool.
The other night, how Eve is clearly completely out of touch with gamers in general, with the stop killing games situation and pretending like he has no idea what's going on when he definitely knows. This is more lip service. Do you really think they believe this? I actually think they do. That's actually more scary.
It's like it's like that lawyer from EA that was saying. I remember watching this video with there was an EA lawyer, and he was she was explaining to the committee, the European committee, that loot crates are surprise mechanics, so like the Kinder eggs, so I think this is one of the same. It's like they're trying to get as much money as possible in order to recoup their losses from the development of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they will try every trick in the book in order to do that. So I think this is just them trying to gaslight players into accepting packs in single-player games, which sucks, really sucks.
Dexerto, Ubisoft argues putting microtransactions in single-player games makes them more fun. In their latest quarterly report, Ubisoft spoke about their business strategy and how they try to engage players. Like, most companies will try to engage players by, I don't know, having a fun...
They claim that putting paid XP boosters and cosmetics in games makes them more fun to play. Well, this is what happens when you promote people from the marketing department in higher positions. A lot of companies do that sometimes. I think that when you have a gaming company, right, you should be striving to promote game developers in higher positions instead of marketing people, because this is what happens.
Game, and I know that sounds generic, so we'll boil it down more. Having a hook that people play games, it's a fun game. Anyways, in a section about the experience of their full price premium titles, they claim that putting paid XP boosters and cosmetics in games like Assassin's Creed Shadows makes them more fun to play. And I don't know about you guys, but seeing how...
I'm telling you now, these people have never played that game. They've never played Assassin's Creed. So they only see like the little demos that are shown by the developers once they're done, and they see, the buttons, and they're like, well, it's definitely going to make it more fun to play. But they don't play through the game. They haven't gone through the grind, so they don't know
how Assassin's Creed Shadows turned out. I think that proves them completely wrong. Ubisoft was one of the first devs to put microtransactions in single-player games, which to this day, I am still shocked that was ever even accepted in the gaming community in the first place. Like, how? The whole point of microtransactions taking off in multiplayer games was purchasing cosmetics and skins to show off to other people, to be like, I have this and you don't. I'm proud of this. I care about this game, and
The thing is, it's I guess you can say that there's a slippery slope argument, even though it's supposedly a fallacy, but that's what happens. You start with microtransactions in multiplayer games, and then down the road, you start implementing microtransactions in single-player games. Just like I would be expecting Ubisoft to put ads inside their single-player games. Even if you have fully purchased a game, they will put ads in it.
I want you to see this, and I really feel a part of this game, and whatever. I was never big on buying skins, but that's what I've seen other people.
To be fair, I have paid a lot of money to Blizzard for loot crates for Overwatch. When Overwatch first came out, I played Season 1 through Season 3 on PS5, and then I bought it on PC, and every monthly salary I would get, I would spend around 50 euros. I would buy around 50 to 100 loot crates for every month, and I have unlocked a lot of skins. I was doing that because I loved the game and I wanted to support Blizzard. But after Overwatch 2, I have stopped supporting Blizzard with my money altogether because I felt completely betrayed as a player.
Do and the reason why they do. It's something they've been doing for years now, offering the luxury of faster progress or unique cosmetics in exchange for real money. Now, I could almost give them if you really, really love a game and you really want to feel more a part of the world, or I don't know, how do the lefties always say it? Feel seen in the world as your character and your environment.
I would understand wanting to be seen or wanted to stand out in a multiplayer game, but in a single player game, who is going to admire your cosmetic? The NPCs. What's the point?
You want to be more tied to it, or hell, maybe you just want to support the developers more because you're just so happy with the game and you just want to own every part of it because you're so happy with it.
I would advise against supporting these kinds of things. There are games like Cyberpunk, and there are games like even Skyrim, which is old, that have a near unlimited amount of extra free content that you can get in the form of mods. Cyberpunk, in my main channel, which I will be pointing somewhere here, I have made a video with a whole mod list for Cyberpunk. And Skyrim, now you can download entire mod lists for free. Or you can even get a premium subscription to Nexus mods and download all of these with one click, and it's much cheaper than giving like $79.99 to buy a full-priced game, only to have to pay another $20 just to get the basic cosmetics. I would advise against supporting this type of marketing in games, and I'm in favor of supporting companies that make games that are at least ethically marketed.
I could understand unique cosmetics in a single player game. Would I buy them? No. but I could see why other people would.
No, in single player games, I would not understand unique cosmetics. Single player games should not force you to buy extra content. It should be available, or okay, let's compromise. If those unique cosmetics can be acquired in game, I understand that. But if you lock unique items behind paywalls, I personally would not be supporting this kind of thing.
But this, the luxury of faster progress, how that was ever approved by the gaming community that people would purchase and that would fly, blows my mind. And it will forever blow my mind, because these are things that should be a part of the game. If it makes the game more fun, why is it not a part of the game?
And listen, this is all a result of an over-bloated gaming industry. You can make a game right now in Unreal Engine. You only need like 3 people and a budget of around $5,000, and you can create a really, really good game. In 6 months, I was able to go from not knowing anything about Unreal Engine, and I spent some money to buy plugins. Like there's a plugin there that you can have an entire template of an RPG, of a survival RPG, and you can then customize it to your game. So I don't understand how a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows needs like 4 years and $1 million to make, when you can actually make something similar with 10% of that budget. So I believe that the first thing that should happen in the gaming industry is a complete overhaul and a complete reset of the game development process. They need to go back to the small groups of people making games out of love for their game development, and they should stop having this huge over-bloated system where there is like 1 billion departments and everybody and like 300 people are doing the job of one person. I think the problem starts there, and then we have these.
Why do you need to pay money to have more fun with it? It's just make it part of the game. And while cosmetics are fairly on brand for games to offer at this point, even if they've sold at $70, $80, boosts for in-game progress give players the option to skip through the otherwise essential grind. Ubisoft argues that this practice can improve the experience for players.
It does the exact opposite. You pay to make the game less fun, because if you get it's simple. It's human psychology. The easier it is, the less you appreciate it. So if you can just press a button and then get charged for $5-6, the price of a meal for a sword, you will enjoy it for 10 minutes, and then that's it. You won't enjoy it anymore. You won't appreciate it anymore. But if you have grinded for a sword for 3 days, and you had to check online how to find materials, or where to find or how to kill the boss for it, or you had to go through a hard process to acquire it, you will enjoy it and you will appreciate it much more. It will have more value to you. So no, I disagree completely. This doesn't make it more fun. It in fact makes it less fun. It makes the game less special, and the item you will be buying will have less value than an item that you grinded hard to get.
Allowing them to pay to make the game they already paid for easier to beat and progress through. Which, again, I go back to, who are these people that are buying this? One, and more importantly, two, if it makes the game more fun, why is it not part of the game in the first place?
I know there's online games. I know there's a lot of online games that try to attract whales. The whales are people that would spend 15k in a mobile game just so they can have items that nobody else has. But again, this is an online game where they get to flaunt those items to other players. In a single player game, who are you going to flaunt those items to?
Because this is Ubisoft telling you without telling you that they don't want the game to, well, shit, well, I'm not even going to bother playing that game. I'd rather go play Expedition 33 that just gives me everything, because it's...
I personally play Skyrim in VR. I've downloaded the mod list with like 400 plus mods, and I just play Skyrim in VR. I have a much better time doing that than playing Ubisoft's new latest blunder.
Awesome. And it's a fun game. That's their competition. That's why they're losing. It's really not that hard. This is explaining how greed is destroying their company. And I don't know why they don't hire someone to tell them this, because maybe they're just making so much money off of it that they're like, yep, we'll just keep doing it because it's worth it. But what they don't realize is every time they do that, they're losing more and more customers to other companies. They lost me a long time ago, and I don't think they're ever going to get me back before they go bankrupt. Microtransactions make games more fun, according to Ubisoft. For anyone who's played through the recent...
The last game from Ubisoft that I have played and I actually enjoyed was Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3, and it lost me. I played Far Cry 4 and I played Far Cry 5, and it was Far Cry 3 with new skins, and that's how it felt. And after that I completely stopped looking forward to Ubisoft games. Nowadays I just hear about them and laugh.
Assassin's Creed like Odyssey, Valhalla, or...
and feel sad because a once great company is now resorting to charging you in single player games so that they can have enough money to stay afloat because of their decisions.
For Shadows, you know that these games are long. The process of grinding through levels is essential, which again, going back to my time with Shadows, that's why I stopped playing it. Because I'm like, I feel like I'm just grinding through, doing the same thing over and over with this. And the cutscenes are terrible. The voice acting's awful. The music is comical. Nothing about the game made me want to go back to it. The process of grinding through levels is essential, as being too low a level will bar you from assassinating targets in a single hit. Not true with Shadows. You can turn that on in the options, for just to correct this article, which I did end up doing.
To be fair, I haven't really played the Assassin's Creed franchise. Please comment down below which Assassin's Creed games I should be playing. I should play at least.
I thought it was BS that if you're assassinating, carry on. Regardless, grinding through levels across several areas is a key part of the experience. And while some players may enjoy going through the landscape, those who just want to get through the main story are in for almost 100-hour experience, depending on how fast they're able to.
Okay, 100 hours is not bad. I personally like to take my time, especially in story mode. I like to explore everything. I like to get immersed in a world. So this grind they're talking about, how repetitive is it gonna be? Because, for example, I personally prefer not to have to go to the same area and kill 50 monsters and then wait for them to respawn so they can kill them again. I don't want to do this in a single player game. I did that enough times in World of Warcraft, and I don't want to have to do a grind like this in single player games. But the way I see it is since they want to create a system where you can bypass a grind, it seems like they're going to do the same thing they were doing in multiplayer games into the single player games, and that's gonna kill single player games just like it has killed multiplayer games.
Progress. So for Hypnotic, that would be like 5 hours. For me, it would probably be 300 hours. But hey, to each their own with how they're able to get through a game. Greater point being, with Assassin's Creed Shadows, there are so many great games out there that I am struggling to get to my backlog, and I'm fighting. I am fighting against the tide, and I know I'm not alone. Fighting against the backlog for things to make it more fun while you're playing it.
In Ubisoft's opinion, skipping this grind can be more fun. It won't be. Okay, in Ubisoft's opinion, skipping this grind can be more fun. So they're creating a problem just so that they can create the paid solution to this problem. Wow.
Life in general, with everything that's going on, I have limited time to get to these games.
They claim they figured out the adoption of monetization and engagement policies that respect the player experience and are sustainable in their... It's like they're touting their own horn. It's like, look guys, we found the problem and we fixed it. They created this problem and now they're gloating about fixing it. This is like expert level gaslighting. So this is the kind of thing they would tell to their shareholders. Not the players. The players don't want to see more grind on single player games and then being told that this is because we respect your experience. This is not respecting your experience. This is just siphoning more money out of you for no reason at all. This is just creating a problem just to create the solution that you pay for. What I don't understand is Ubisoft should by now the people in Ubisoft should know that this kind of monetization is only going to backfire on them. This is not going to go well. This is not going to increase their profits. This is going to just create a shitstorm online, which is going to make more people turn away from their games. Honestly, somebody just has... Honestly, at this point, they should just sell the entire company to Tencent, because Tencent at least knows their customer base and know their... and Tencent knows how to make players happy, you know? Make a game where the characters are at least presentable and make a game that's at least fun and enjoyable to play, and then look for monetization strategies and making it harder for players to progress in single player games. This, you can't just keep you can't just keep doing what you've been doing but charge more and expect who hired the people who are making these decisions? Who hired them? This is like they're sabotaging their own company with this stuff.
I would love to spend all the time in the world to play games. I have limited time to spend on these games. So when I do it, I need to make sure it maximizes the fun of what I'm playing and is worthwhile and excites me to get back to it. And if you're in a sea of 100-hour games, you're not going to go back to Assassin's Creed Shadows. In Ubisoft's opinion, skipping this grind can be more fun for players, with them making paid XP boosts a solution. They've claimed they've figured out the adoption of monetization and engagement policy. Think of this, how insidious this is at a company to be like, how do we make more money off of these people after they already bought our game? What can we do to make the game a little less fun, but then sell something to make sure it goes to being more fun? Could you imagine back on like the NES doing this or the Super Nintendo? It's like, no, the game came out.
This is, I don't understand I don't understand who said this. Whoever said that this is gonna make the game more fun has no idea about games, about either playing games or game development. Whoever said these things has never played a video game in their life.
And you bought the game and you played it and you had fun with it. At Ubisoft, and this is a quote, by the way, from their quarterly report.
At Ubisoft, the golden rule when developing premium games is to allow players to enjoy the game in full without having to spend more. That's actually a contradiction of what they're doing. Our monetization offer within premium games makes the player experience more fun by allowing them to personalize their avatars or progress more quickly. So, first they're saying they're developing games that allow players to enjoy it in full without having to spend more. And then they tell you that within those games, they give, you have to pay to buy new avatars or progress more quickly. So it's like the sky is blue, but also the sky is purple and not blue. This is like...
At Ubisoft, the golden rule when developing premium games is to allow players to... Their quarterly report reads, hey, you can be annoyed and have it boring and slower, or you can pay more and have more fun with it. But it's optional. You don't...
Exactly.
Solution to cut down on the grind.
Creating a problem by making the game grindy and then selling the player the solution to cut down on the ground. That's like on the grind. That's exactly what many companies have been doing in multiplayer games, and now it has arrived on single player games. Fuck.
And it sounds like Ubisoft could have skipped a few steps and made the game more fun in the first place. Yep. Thank you. That's way to go. But so shout out to charging people more money.
Okay, so prediction, the next 5 years, Ubisoft, my prediction for the next 5 years is that Ubisoft will be so bankrupt they will have to sell out to another company. I hope they are acquired by an Eastern studio, because the Eastern studios are the only ones remaining that actually understand the vast majority of their player base. And even though they also have a lot of microtransactions and gacha, at least they give you a good game that is worthy of asking for more. Assassin's Creed games are like the FIFA games. It's the same game with just a fresh coat of paint, and because of that, because there's no innovation, there's just politics, I personally will not be looking forward to Ubisoft titles. It's been a long time since I looked forward to Ubisoft titles. I'll be looking forward to Ubisoft news, because I always find it funny how a gaming company that used to be so successful and used to make such great games has managed to become so completely out of touch with the reality and their customer base that they managed to get themselves in such a dire situation that there is no going up. It's just going down. And
to have,
I hope they manage to figure this out somehow, because the sharks are circling around the company, and at this point I have lost faith in the leadership of Ubisoft, and a lot of other companies as well, but Ubisoft is always on the news about something crazy or out of touch with reality. So yeah, that's my 2 cents with this. Thanks for watching. Go press subscribe, and also I have a normal channel as well. So yeah, see you later.